gather around the table once again for another session of Dungeons and Drakfus. And first of all, to those who do not follow the Tale of Drakfu as thoroughly as they should, I'm just going to go ahead and point this out. You should, because we have fun there. But also, for this session of Dungeons and Drakfus, you might notice that there is no webcam. I'm having some issues with my webcam right now, and I'm trying to get them fixed. I promise it will be fixed as soon as it can be, but in the meantime, it just means there's going to be no webcam footage. But hopefully that doesn't bug you too much, because we're going to be going into yet another dungeon, because I got this invitation in the mail to be able to join a wizarding academy of some kind, but I came to this rundown building. I'm not sure what that means. Actually, today we're going to be going into one of my favorite dungeons. Now, it did get reworked in Mists of Pandaria, but it's still very awesome to me, and that is the Academy of Necromancy Scholomance. So really quick, let's actually go ahead and go over the lore of it before we step on in. And I need to track down, there it is, Scholomance. Individuals seeking to master the powers of undeath know well of Scholomance, the infamous school of necromancy located in the dark and foreboding crypts beneath Caradero. In recent years, several of the instructors have changed, but the institution remains under the control of Dark Master Gandling, a particularly sadistic and insidious practitioner of necromantic magic. So basically, we're walking into a Scourge-based instance back in Classic WoW. Now, the cool part also for Scholomance, it's very much changed from what it was before. I believe the original Scholomance was actually built to be almost like a 10-man raid as far as its content. Now they've since narrowed it down and put in less bosses, things like that. But this is actually, people remember in Dire Maul how I said you had to go to the Capital Gardens to be able to get your Warlock class mount. This is actually where Paladins finished their quest to get their class mount, the Argent Warhorse. So that's an interesting concept, and of course, we won't have to worry about that, because come 7.2, we will be getting all of our own class mounts. So that's going to be awesome. Let's go ahead and get things started for Scholomance. Oh, I'm excited. This is always a cool place to be able to go to, and we have a talking skull right here, so already things are getting silly.
I and my family fell victim to this place, what seems like ages ago. Let our fate serve as a warning to those who would meddle in necromancy. Help me to lift the curse, monk. Destroy Dark Master Gandling.
So we have the 4 tomes.
There are 4 tomes of necromantic evil studied in Scholomance. In the Shadow of the Light, Kel'Thuzad's deep knowledge, forbidden rites, and other rituals necromantic, and the Dark Grimoire. As we make our way through this cursed place, find and destroy each book, so that no other fool can come along later and learn their vile secrets.
Let's see, so the next quest that we have... Now, people might notice also, before I start up this quest... people might have noticed, like, when we went through the Western Plaguelands, it looked like they were setting up for a brand spanking new Scholomance. Cataclysm, however, didn't have it. The revamp for Scholomance came in Mists of Pandaria, so a lot of people had to wait to get that kind of ending to that particular instance. I think they narrowed it down in Cataclysm, but the revamp happened in Mists of Pandaria. So, an end to the suffering.
The key to lifting the curse of this place rests in the final death of Dark Master Gandling. Do it, Drakfu, and make him suffer.
Alright, so let's go ahead and get things started. And I'm just going to warn people in advance, you might be very familiar with these models. It's because they are Scourge models from Wrath of the Lich King. That's one of the reasons I like this. Oh, no. We already start things off with evil-sounding people. That's okay, though. So that's actually our first boss, Instructor Chillheart. But before we get to her... Oh, crap. There we go. We actually do need to find the book in this area. So let's just go ahead and get that done. Oh, no, my bad. Let's see, where is the book? There is a book in this particular room. I just can't remember where it is. That, and I also think it has a random placement. So, come on. Neophytes, acolytes, don't care. We kill you all. Ah, there it is. This sparkly book. So this was in the Shadow of the Light. And then now we can clear out the rest of the room so that we can take on Instructor Chillheart, who, as you might have noticed, is, if you've played Wrath of the Lich King, she is very much a Lady Death Whisperer model. So you can look forward to that. Let's go ahead and look into the lore of Instructor Chillheart. Instructor Chillheart journeyed from Northrend to teach aspiring necromancers discipline. Harshly punishing those who disappoint her, she commands the icy chill of the north and masterfully uses the Scholomance's libraries to deadly effect. Okay, so let's go ahead and take care of her.
Class dismissed.
Oh no!
Can never die.
She escaped to her factory! Kill it!
This cannot be.
There you go. Oh, we got a great sword out of it. How does it look? Yeah, not so great, but that's all right. So now we can move on into the next area. Open up the gate, and we get to go further into Scholomance, the Academy of Necromancy. And of course, we walk into a room full of zombies! Zombies! Yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys. It's a room full of zombies. And there is a book in here, too, so we actually do need to grab it. And even better, some of these zombies actually will reanimate while we're in here, so we need to be careful of that. Oh, crap. Even more stuff to kill. There it is. So this one's Kel'Thuzad's Deep Knowledge. Don't worry, guys. His day will come soon. And then we have our next boss, Jandis Baroff. So here's a quick little factoid. The Baroff family actually used to be very much part of Scholomance. You actually had to take care of the entire Baroff family, I believe, in the original instance. Now they've cut things down so you don't have to deal with them all, but they still are very much a part of the history here. And so let's go into Jandis Baroff. Baroff's spirit lurked in the recesses of Scholomance for years, but now she has taken a more active role in educating the next generation of magi. Her vast knowledge of illusions has made her both a valued educator and a dangerous opponent to anyone foolish enough to draw her ire. Let's see, so... Boom!
Thanks. Death hurts. Unreal.
I love that line from her. Death hurts? Unreal.
My dear.
Oh.
It appears we have visitors. Friends of yours, Voss?
You there. Make yourselves useful and deal with these summoners.
So as you kind of notice, Darkmaster Gandling is already in this room, but also another woman named Lillian Voss. If you have leveled an undead, you will know the tale of Lillian Voss because you will follow her along the way.
To empower my summoners.
But since we didn't do that, I'll summarize it as best as I can. We actually dealt with this earlier on in Scarlet Monastery. She was trained by the Scarlet Crusade. Oh, sorry.
You should embrace this gift that has been bestowed upon you.
Your life ends once I catch my breath.
There we go. I didn't want to interrupt that stuff, but
Your fate awaits you.
that's all right. We're going to have another boss in there. But yeah, Lillian Voss we actually met in the Scarlet Monastery because we helped her get those rune blades that she's wielding. But if you've done leveling as an undead, you followed the journey of Lillian Voss. She was basically trained to be an ultimate killer by the Scarlet Crusade and eventually died and became undead and alerted them of her existence and then went on basically a mad killing spree of the Scarlet Crusade. So we're going to be actually concluding her story, at least for the moment, in Scholomance. But you'll notice that we have another boss here. Fun fact, this is actually the original boss you had to kill to get your Paladin class mount, Rattlegore. Let's go ahead and go into the lore of Rattlegore. I don't know why I did that. Let's see. Rattlegore was thought to have been destroyed in Anderhall, but Gandling immediately began preparations to reanimate the clattering terror so he could guard against intruders. The Dark Master sought to make Rattlegore more ferocious than ever, imbuing him with an insatiable desire to harvest raw materials from his enemies. So let's go ahead and take care of Rattlegore. There we go. And I apologize for talking over that. It's friendly banter between Gandling and Lillian Voss that will come into play in the next fight, but not so much here. It's Gandling taunting her. Boom. And even more models from Icecrown Citadel, specifically. So now we have the Rotheart and Festergut. Or is that, was it Rotheart? It was something rot. There we go. We technically don't need to clear the rest of this, but this used to be the Bloodwing with, I think it was Alexei Krastonov, who I think now shows up in Akaris the Ebon Hold for Death Knights.
I am the Dark Master. I command the undead.
Oh noes!
I won't let you.
It actually won't
Now
let me kill
turn
him,
your
so.
lovely rune blades on our guests and fetch me their bows.
Oh noes!
I can't fight him.
That's okay, I can fight you.
Die, necromancer!
The bones. You wretch!
This actually was a really cool fight back in Mists of Pandaria.
To die alone, please.
I wish we could, Lillian, but first, we have to go into your lore. The undead Lillian Voss strangled her father, a high priest of the Scarlet Crusade, for treachery, and then started a rampage that eventually led her into the shadowy corridors of Scholomance. Rather than destroy the intruder, Dark Master Gandling graciously decided to show Voss how to embrace her grim fate. The anger and rune blades she had once directed at the school are now turned towards Gandling's enemies. So you have that. And like I said, this fight used to be really awesome because you had him turn her against you. Then at that point, he split her soul out of her body, and you had to take care of the soul. I think it was the soul, and then she turns on Gandling, like you just barely saw. So this was actually a really cool thing to do back in the day, lore-wise. So, oh no. And the door came down on me. Oh no. I want my chest, though. There we go. So deeper and deeper we go, but we only have one more boss left. So obviously this isn't going to take too long, right? Not really. We do have like a mini boss to take care of, so we're going to go ahead and take care of him. And it's Professor Slate, which we don't really know a whole lot aside from he's very much a Professor Putrefide clone. And he does have a toy that you can eventually get if you want it. I think this is it. No, it's not. All right, so it's time for us to go even further into Scholomance, to the Headmaster's Retreat. It's almost like we're going to go in for a final confrontation. Oh, that looks so great, even now, to just see all this dark power amassing in this one room. And you know it's the Dark Master. So let's go ahead and go into the lore before we step into this room. Of Dark Master Gandling. The recent defeat in Anderhall has put Dark Master Gandling in the foulest of moods. More than ever, all students of Scholomance are advised to impress him at every turn. Pupils who dissatisfy the headmaster will be removed from class to perform lab work. Or become lab work. Alright, so let's go ahead and take on...
If you haven't come to study, I'll use you to teach a lesson.
Will you now? Okay, I have no problem with this. Bye-bye. There you go. So Dark Master Gandling has fallen, and now we can turn all these in. And it just so happens to be Lord Alexei Baroff that we were talking to. It's over. The curse is lifted. Thank you, Drakfu. Thank you. My next great adventure is about to begin. Is that a light I see? All right. So the we actually didn't get the 4 tomes done, but that's okay. An end to the suffering. Behold my true form. I owe you a debt, one that I can never repay, but I thank you for lifting the curse off my family. Kel'Thuzad, the Lich King, and now Dark Master Gandling are all but dead. Perhaps now I too can find some semblance of peace. Okay. And we still have 2 other books that I should have been paying attention to, but I didn't grab. But that's actually the end of Scholomance, and there's really not a whole lot that this quest adds to the lore aside from you can get these books to destroy them. So necromancy can no longer happen here. So that's going to go ahead and do it for this video of Dungeons & Drakfu's Scholomance. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for all that you do. And of course, I will see you guys next time for the next video.